Hello, this is Ingrid. I'm coming to you with a project that I made. This is a mini album that I made out of cardstock. I learned this technique from watching several YouTube videos where different people made their cardstock mini albums out of 12 by 12 sheets of paper cut down, and I tried my hand at it, and this is what I came up with. This shape here, oh, by the way, this paper line for the front is from the K & Company, and it's from the K Sarasara, I believe, collection. It's an old collection, but I thought that this color was very pretty, and for the type of project I wanted to create. So this shape here in blue, I cut out using the Cricut. And I actually used the Cricut cardstock paper, so I guess it, cuts out very intricate shapes, and this is why it came out so perfect and so beautiful, because I used their own paper for that. This is a chipboard piece from, I believe, the DCWV. No. I believe this is also K & Company. I'm sorry, I get everything confused, because again, I don't save any of the packaging for any of the embellishments that I purchased, so it's very hard for me to recall what paper line is being used for something. But anyway, this here I cut out, I believe, with a Spellbinder's die, and I just added the bling to it, and okay, so I'm doing this one-handed, so we'll see how that goes. This is very pretty, a sheer ribbon in pink with some gold. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, and then when you open it up, this is what it looks like. Okay, now this here, this window, I cut out using the Cricut. Okay, I cut this out using the Cricut, and I added, you know how when you get, like, clear stamps or whatever, it comes with that clear paper? So I just used that up, I cut it down, and I used it behind the window so you can slide a picture in there. And this label that you see here, this is actually cut from the Cricut, because I don't have the label punch, so the Cricut has this shape, and what's good about it is that since it's on a Cricut, you can make it whatever size you want. So I have several of these in different sizes. This is a scrap piece of paper that I cut using the one of the punches. I added a ribbon here, and then in here is a tag that I made using the Cricut. And what I did with this tag is this piece here that was cut out with the Cricut, I embossed it, and that's why you see this pretty texture. This shiny texture, it's very, very beautiful. And this in the back, also same thing, cut using the Cricut. So I guess you could put like a picture there. And then here, I really wouldn't put a picture. I'd probably just write something, I guess. Okay, and then moving on to this side. Okay, so now what happens is, okay, so this is how it is, and then when you open it up, you have this piece here, this little flap, and this I just put from the K & Company. One of these pretty chipboard. Oh, that's so pretty. And I cut that out. I used the punch on that. Same thing here. You could slide like a little tag or something in there. This here, this top piece of designer paper, I cut out using the Spellbinder's die, and I inked the edges. But this here, this doily, was cut out using the Cricut, and I inked the edges. This is a Prima flower that you see there, and I just added a pretty pink brad. And the same thing goes, I always try to save my scraps, but I also save my ribbon scraps. Regardless of how small the ribbon scraps are, I save them, because here I just added them in the back. I just added some hot glue, and I used them there. And then here is a, from the same collection, just a tag, and I just added this beautiful ribbon piece. Again, the same thing. It was bound for the garbage because it was so tiny, so small. But I didn't throw it out. I just added some hot glue. See, there's the hot glue right there, and it works. Okay, so now, going back to this, so it's usually like this. Then you open it, you open this flap, and then you open this flap, and it reveals this center. And this was cut out with a Spellbinder's die, either a Spellbinder's die or a Sizzix die. Goodness, I really can't remember. Wow, I think this was with a Sizzix die. I have such a, I really need to figure that out. But what I did was I used my chalks. I don't know if anybody uses that, but I used the chalks here on the raised areas just so that you can see it better. And that came out nice. I did like that. It's a subtle effect, but it's very nice. And then you open it up. And in here, I cut this out with the Cricut. Added some bling. This piece here, which is the flap that opens up, but this piece here I used the punch. This beautiful heart clock, was cut from Sizzix. This fleur-de-lis was cut out with my Cricut. Then when you open up this flap, this is just a, this piece here I used a punch to cut it out. And then these beautiful butterflies I cut out with my Cricut out of the design paper. It's a different design paper. And I added stickles and I inked the edges. And then this beautiful frame I cut out with the Cricut. I just love my Cricut so much. And I did a lot of work to it because I added some, I thought the pink was too bright. So I wanted to tone it down a bit, so I added a bunch of glitter to it, which actually made it even louder, but it works in the end. And then this piece that goes on top I cut out with my Cricut as well, and I just put it on top of the frame. And I added some of those dimensional paints to it, like the Pro Paints. But this is not the Pro Paint. This is from like the scribbles in blue. This butterfly I also cut out with the Cricut as well. And I inked the edges and added the stickles. And then this flap here, you see this is all from cardstock. I punched out these edges. This here is cut out with the Cricut. This tag. This beautiful swirl is cut out with the Cricut. This teeny tiny little leaf here is from one of the sticker lines. From one of the stickers. This swirl I added a lot of stickles to in different colors. This is from one of the punches, the scallop oval punch. This is a pretty velvet brad that I used there. Here are some more of those butterflies that I cut out with the Cricut out of the paper line, and I added some of these beautiful embellishments to it. Kind of iridescent, and some stickles. Okay, and then you turn that flap, and here's just a dimensional sticker. And then from this flap, so this is kind of now what it looks like, the mini album. So then, coming down here, I can show you, before I show you this, let me just show you the inside of this, because it's like all one. So this frame I cut out with the Cricut, this frame was cut out with the Cricut, and this swirl was cut out with the Cricut. And sometimes I have things already cut up, like this frame was cut from a different project, and I saved this piece, and it worked really well with this. There's the pink again, pink frame. Here's another swirl with lots of stickles. This tag I cut out with the Cricut as well. So beautiful. Much smaller. And this is just one of these, I guess, resin buttons that has the words on it. And then this is a piece of scrap paper that was meant to be thrown out, and I just used my decorative scissors here to cut this. And then I put it on top so that you have a place to write something. And there is the paper line. Beautiful paper line. And then here is another, when you open up this flap, here is another tag that I cut out using the Cricut. And then on the inside here, I just added a lot of stickles to it. And then what I did here was I added some ribbon and I hot glued the ribbon down, and then I put, while the glue was still hot, I put a piece of chipboard here. This is from the DCWV collection, from the Mariposa collection, that I do recall. And it holds it down, so then you can just lift it up. You can put a picture here, and you can put a picture on the back. Or you can write something. You can write something here as well. Okay, then moving on to this side. See, there's a flap. But let me just tell you about this flap here before we go on further. This flap, this is a strip of paper. Was supposed to be for the scrap heap. This here is a sticker that has a sentiment on it. And this sentiment says, "A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song." That's very pretty. And being that I love birds, I thought that was very appropriate. This piece here, this tiny piece here, was cut out with the Cricut. I inked the edges, and then I added this chipboard piece to it. And that chipboard already came glittered, so I didn't do anything to that. And then when you open up this flap, okay, and here's again the punched edge, I added, this was a sticker, a dimensional sticker. This is pretty big, and it has several layers. It's very beautiful. And it already comes glittered and everything. So I didn't have to do anything to this. It was beautiful all by itself. And then this piece here, this is another flap, and this piece here was cut out with the Cricut from a different project, and then the top here was also cut out with the Cricut. But what happened was, this piece here, I mean, it looks like it's all one piece, but it's not. This piece here was cut out with the Cricut, but the bottom part got ruined. But I thought the top was pretty, so I just cut out the bottom, and I thought one of these days I'll find a spot for this, and that's how that came about. But that looks pretty because it all looks like one, but it's really not. And then this here was also, this label was also cut out with the Cricut, and I just added stickles and added stickles to the, to the edges. So then when you open up this flap, I left this sort of plain. This is the paper collection. Same thing, the Que Sera Sera collection. I just used the punches on the corners, and then I just added two pretty flower dimensional stickers that came like that already. Gorgeous. Okay, so that's that, and then you just turn this over, and here I added a very pretty dimensional sticker that says "Pretty as a Picture." I didn't do anything to that. Very beautiful. And this is a dimensional sticker as well that I added there. And then what happened in this spot was I wanted to create a pocket. So I just cut this down here and hot glued everything, and this created a pocket. So I just added this piece here that I cut out with one of the punches. And then here are some tags I created with the Cricut. Here's another butterfly cut with the Cricut with some embellishments on top. This swirl was cut out with the Cricut out of the same paper line. And in the back, I just traced out the shape of the tag, and I added and I used what do you call this? This is index cards, I think. Plain index cards, and I just traced it and added it to the back so it's nice and sturdy. A little ribbon on top. Then here's another tag that I cut out with the Cricut. I love that Cricut. Isn't this beautiful? My goodness. Look at that. Oh, goodness. So I just added beautiful blue feathers there. And here's another piece of ribbon, and the same thing. So you have some journaling spots for that. And then this piece here was cut out. Actually, no, this was already like this. This is from one of the, let me just show you because I actually have it handy, believe it or not. This is from Kane Company tag pad. You see how it has different, and this is, I believe this is Que Sera Sera. Yeah, there it is, see? Sera Sera. Okay, so that's that same paper line. So it has all of those. Okay, so that's where this tag came from. Isn't that beautiful? And it already comes glittered and everything, so I didn't do anything to this. This came like that. And the back is white, so you can put a picture or you can write something. I added a pretty flower, a pretty rose in the back there, which helped me, this rose helped me tie down this pretty blue ribbon. And so now let's recap, because now I gotta close this thing up. So let's see, how do we do this? I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's not exactly easy. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, did I show everything? Yes, I did. Okay, so there you go. That's that. Okay, I believe that's, no, hold on. Okay, I believe this goes like this. Yes, there we go. And then this comes over like that. Yep, that's it. And then this closes like this like that, and there we go. And then there's the back. All I did was, when I ran the ribbon, I just had this piece of cardstock that I cut out with the Cricut, added 2 pieces of bling, and then this served for gluing down the ribbon. I just added some hot glue there. So that's really pretty. And that, my friends, that is the cardstock mini, which, by the way, is extremely quick to make. So I hope you guys make this, because this was a lot of fun. And like I said, bust out your Cricuts, because you really should get your money's worth. These Cricut cartridges are expensive, at least in my opinion. And you really should try to get your money's worth. So thank you, and please leave a comment.